Welcome back to another episode. That's right, your boy's back. Hello.
Who are you? Who are you? I don't recognize this man.
I know. Rejuvenated. Zane is back. Hello, your host of the Undisputed Nerds Podcast. I know I've been away for the last 2 weeks and Gigi's been doing a great job filling in some great shoes.
Wow. Both backhand and complimenting me in the same sentence. That's great.
Wow. As always, I'm joined by the fantastic co-host that is Gigi.
Hello, everyone in Radio Land. I thought you were going to say my full name, Gentleman the Gamer, but then you just went full Gigi. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's been a while. We've been out of the loop for a while, guys. You've had some other fantastic co-hosts in the meantime. But now the grand moth, the grand mane is returned.
To be fair, I have to say thank you to Rinsler, and Drac for filling in. They've done fantastic jobs. I watched the episodes back. And of course, I watched them live as well, which you can do here on YouTube. But yes, thank you. Thank you so much for filling in. But Daddy's home, so.
Oh, God. And he's creepy, guys. How are you, Zane? Did you have a nice holiday away with Batfleck?
Yeah, it was incredible. Ben says to say hello, by the way.
Okay, good.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we were in Scotland. He showed me his new bat cycle. I said, It's bigger than Bale's, and he said, that's what they all say. Wow,
that's. I mean, this is very. And is he as tender a lover as he is rough a fighter?
Look, it was his birthday, all right. So you know, we had a.
Daddy was definitely home.
But what
all
can I
right.
say?
Oh God, that's filled my mind with joy. But you're happy to be back. I can tell. You're feeling it.
Oh yes. Scotland is fantastic. Edinburgh specifically. Learned a lot about Harry Potter that I didn't know.
That's not a connection I would have made, but fair enough. I am very jealous. I'm very jealous that you went to Scotland. Very, very jealous.
Beautiful part of the Great British Isles. Anyways.
Give him a break, guys. He's been out of the loop for a while. He's clawing.
We got a lot of things.
No. Yeah, we've got a lot of things to cover. But no. Stop. What's the Harry Potter connection? I must know about this. What are you talking about?
Okay. So just to name a few things, there's a famous graveyard called Greyfriars Graveyard in Edinburgh that J.K. Rowling used to visit, and some of the I don't know how to say this. Some of the people who are buried there, J.K. Rowling used the names in the books. So, for example, there's a poet called McGonagall, Professor McGonagall. More famously, there's the grave of Tom Riddle, aka Voldemort.
Can't speak his name. What are you doing?
So, yeah, there's lots of inspirations. There's a famous cafe on the high street that J.K. Rowling wrote a few of the books and stuff. So, yeah, loads of connections.
So it's more like connections of like J.K. Rowling in the city as opposed to like actual connections to like lore in the story kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of inspirations. There's a specific row of shops that inspire Diagon Alley and such. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Edinburgh. It's one of my like top destinations that I want to go to. So I might have to talk to you offline about it because, it's apparently quite expensive as well. So I need to find some good places to go and be on the cheap because I am a pauper, folks. I am skint as Flint.
Yeah.
We're firing on all cylinders tonight, guys. We're here to stay. All right, let's get to the news, Zane. Let's get to the news. Go for it.
Okay. One thing I noticed whilst I was away, I don't know if you've seen this, more of a real comic book news, but a lot of comic book creators are moving to a new platform called Substack.
I haven't seen this.
No. So quite a lot of the top writers such as James Tynan IV, Chip Zdarsky, loads of these artists as well are making the move to this new platform called Substack, which is a really interesting premise because the whole idea is almost similar to a Patreon platform where you subscribe and you pay monthly to the author or the writer, and you'll have exclusive access to their comics and such. But it's so kind of out of the blue because they've kind of, again, in the case of James Tynan IV, he's left the current run of Batman to go do this. And the other part of this as well is that Substack isn't a publisher. They'll have all creative rights over the characters they create as well.
So what you're saying is it's effectively an OnlyFans for comic book writers.
Some would say.
I'm going to take that happy laugh as a definite yes to that. Interesting. Well, look, I mean, if it gives back like comic book writers in certain situations, there have been times where, and I'm going to have to be careful not to swear with these situations, but in certain instances, there's been situations. I'm thinking about Neil Gaiman when he was writing for, was it Marvel, where he had like his characters taken from him without, was it? Wait, was that? Hang on, was it Neil Gaiman or was it? Didn't something happen with Spawn? I remember it wasn't Neil Gaiman who created Spawn, but like I remember something happening with Spawn where like didn't he get like basically stolen from like the writer whose name now escapes me because I have a brain like porridge today. Look,
I think I know what you're referring to.
I'm falling down a trap. Anyway, regardless, like any situation where comic book creators have the rights to their own characters retained and they get paid for the things that they create. I mean, I'm all for that. I would be interested to see how this kind of like Patreon saucy comic creation site works. I don't know, but yeah, it sounds interesting though. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's a real interesting premise because with some creators, let's say for example Scott Snyder, who of course famously did the Batman run and has other projects outside of DC as well.
Army of the Dead. Oh no, wait.
But famously, a lot of when they want to create their own comics and they don't go to any of the big publishers, they normally have to do a Kickstarter to try and get the funds and such. But what's different about Substack is that they get given the funds straight away, and it's down to them to have a creative team and start making this together and make subs.
Interesting. Why do I feel like you're about to plug a comic that you've created on Substack?
Well, anyway. If people want us to write a comic,
oh good lord, I can only imagine. I mean, that would finally be the Batman fan flick that we've been looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally, Zane, your dream can come true. But yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I will look out for Substack. That is a very interesting. That's a very interesting premise. I'm keen to see how it would go up against the big two.
Yeah,
I guess 2000 AD technically counts as a big as well, doesn't it? Big three. Okay. Anything that makes us go, probably not.
Well, fair enough. Talking of the big two. We had, let's talk about this. The first
I know what's coming, guys. I know what's coming. So, yeah. What made you think of the number two with what you're about to talk about?
So there was a sequel called Venom 2 that was scheduled to be released this year. But I believe, is it CineCon? There was like a cinema festival that took place over the last couple of days. And the rumor coming out of it is that Venom 2 may get delayed.
I'm not sure if that rumor has been... I think it's still coming out this year. I don't think it's been delayed to 2022. I think it is still coming out. Okay, I think it's just been delayed until late October now instead of like beginning of October. Although it may have been pushed back again because I haven't checked today. But I mean, you know perfectly well, Zane, how I feel about Venom 2 on this channel. And it is not one of the films I'm looking forward to seeing. Did you hear how carefully I was structuring that sentence?
Yes, I did.
Family friendly, folks. I mean, based on what we've seen so far, the only thing I'm kind of interested to see is Woody Harrelson's take on Cletus Cassidy. That is the only thing I am interested in, because I genuinely think he's going to be very good in it. I will say this. I did see now I'm not sure whether it was like a cinema exclusive trailer, because I went to the cinema recently to see Free Guy.
Cool.
Which I can talk about a little bit as well if you want to. But there was a trailer for Let There Be Carnage, and it was different from the one I've actually seen. Okay. And I will say this. It wasn't as awful as the previous trailer that I'd seen. And it did make me kind of go, oh, that's not as awful, but this film's still going to be awful.
I see.
Like, basically, all the Cletus Cassidy stuff looks actually quite interesting. And Woody Harrelson does genuinely seem to be doing quite an unstable... I don't think it's a comedy take that he's doing. I think Woody Harrelson just naturally comes off quite comedic. The Tom Hardy stuff is awful. Like, it's so bad, Zane. It's so bad. Like, I was just even watching it in the thing, I was still just like, oh, yeah, he can eat everyone. Yeah, okay, cool, great. Well, that's just wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, good. Okay, yeah, making breakfast, brilliant.
Oh,
yeah.
That one. I know which trailer you mean. He's just standing there and Venom does everything, sort of.
Yeah, all that stuff was still in it, but then there was like interspersed with like we got some shots of Cletus in the mental asylum that he's in, and I can't remember what the name of it is. Ravencroft. Yeah, he's in Ravencroft, and he gets visited by Eddie Brock, and we kind of see a bit more as to, because it's weird. I always thought it looked like in one of the trailers that he was sucking the blood out of like Venom's wrist or Eddie Brock's wrist, but it looks like what happens in this trailer is he bites him to prove he's like crazy, and then some of Eddie's blood just gets left on his hand from where he's bitten him, and then as an afterthought, Cletus basically just like licks the blood off his hand, and that's how he gets Carnage. Which is it's not a traditional Carnage spawning, I guess, in the most traditional sense, but it makes more sense than Cletus being this weird pseudo vampire. And I also I have to say, I love that if they've done it like that, and if Carnage is part of his bloodstream instead of like and completely bonded with that, I love. Like, that's great. Like, that's the way it should be. And I still love the idea of him having to cut himself in order to get the symbiote out. Like, I think that's great, because it's like that extra bit of unstable that Carnage is.
Like psychopathic.
Exactly. But yeah, still not thrilled to this, so I don't give a monkeys if it comes out in 2021 or 2022.
I guess the other thing about this rumor as well is that if the rumors are true that this is supposed to come out in January, that might mean that Morbius might get pushed further down the line.
Not Mobius, as I called it last week. I mean, again, Mobius is it's like, this is the thing about the Spider. Right? Okay, so it's such an amazing contrast. So I'm going to hold my hands up and say to you publicly, I was wrong. Yeah. I thought they wouldn't bring out a Spider-Man trailer. I thought they were going to do what I considered a smart thing and have no marketing for it. They have. I've seen the trailer. It is what it is. But I will say this, it's such a weird dichotomy that I can be fundamentally so excited about one Spider-Man film and then so unbelievably uninterested in so many others that are coming out in the next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I no further thoughts on Venom. Delay it until you have to release it, I would say. It could be New Mutants all over again.
And Mobius, don't release it, less blades in it.
Morbius. See how easy it is to do. One bit of news that I wanted to drop in before we get on to the Spider-Man, because it does link quite well into Spider-Man. Yeah, I've been keeping some hot shots. Some hot tips and bits. So there is a person who is quite reliable from a site called The Direct. And they have been talking about Doctor Strange and in the Multiverse of Madness. And he was basically there was a Twitter. So this guy, he has some inside knowledge about Marvel, and he has some inside scoops, and he's had some things come through before that were effectively credited as like unsure, and then they've turned out to be true. So he's a fairly reliable source. So this guy's called Daniel Richtman, and it's via The Direct. And he said one of the Twitter user was praising the battle between Doctor Strange and Thanos in Avengers, and was saying how good it is.
Yeah.
And then he replied to that by saying, in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Fox universe, but I'm not allowed to say who it is, but it could top that fight. So let the speculation run rampant. It's Paul Bettany, isn't it? It's totally Paul Bettany.
I guess the original thing is, who did Richard E. Grant play as in the Fox universe?
Oh god, yeah, good point. Yeah. It was the guy from Logan, wasn't it? It was the Doctor in Logan. Yeah. That's it. Richard E. Grant confirmed. That's it. Richard E. Grant as Mephisto is this guy from Logan. That's it. We've done it.
There we go.
We've
Mystery solved.
It. When I see that, my immediate thought comes to Silver Surfer.
Was it really?
Yeah,
that's a great shout.
They're doing Fantastic Four. It's going to be multiversal madness, craziness. They're going to be hopping all kinds of different dimensions. If it's going to be a fight that's as crazy as Thanos, it needs to be somebody as powerful as Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. So, I mean, immediately my mind goes to him. It's either that or it's going to be some weird thing of like fighting maybe Magneto or someone like her dad. It's got to be someone epically powered, doesn't it?
Yeah, the first two people I thought of when I heard this was Magneto and Phoenix Force Jean Grey.
Green Jay.
Green Jay. You know Green Jay.
Oh, that's what our comic book should be about. It's Green Jay, everyone.
The Adventures of Green Jay.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
And her boyfriend, Scoot Winters.
Yeah.
Blue Winters.
Suit Scummers. Green Jay and Scoot Scummers. It's great. Wait, Suit Scummers. God, I can't even say that. Move on. Move on. It's breaking me.
So
oh, he's back, guys. He's back. Oh, Jesus. Right. Yeah. Sorry. So your two theories were a Jean Grey empowered Phoenix Force. Wait, flip that. Or
yeah, Phoenix Force.
What was the other one?
Was Magneto. The other one was Magneto. Yeah. I guess, kind of extending on what you were saying, Doctor Doom. Would it be too early to have a Doctor Doom?
Yeah. The only other person
Doom versus Doctor Strange. Battle of the Docs.
The only other person it could be is, but I don't think he was Fox. But Mephisto. It could well be Mephisto. If that was a Fox, was that a Fox? That was a Fox property, wasn't it? Because it was with Ghost Rider.
Oh, was it Universal?
I thought Ghost Rider was Fox. I thought Fox had Marvel. Fox had Daredevil and Ghost Rider, and obviously the others. Let me have a look. Produced by Avi Arad. Ugh. It was Sony. What?
Wow.
Ghost Rider was distributed by Sony Pictures. It was produced by Yeah, produced by Columbia and distributed by Sony. Yeah, it was a Sony one.
Wow.
Ooh, I don't remember it being as bad as that. Okay, then yeah, that blows my Mephisto idea out of the water because I know that he was in that. So yeah, but I just it has to be someone cosmically souped, doesn't it? It can't just be a standard affair kind of thing.
Yeah,
yeah, possibly Magneto because that's Omega level. But then again, you've got to think of like, well, if it's Omega level, like Scarlet Witch is now like ridiculous, like she's a Nexus being now. So like, could she not just swat them aside?
Plus, they don't have that relationship. Like, would she even recognize him as her father?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Yeah, there's been a lot of news this week, actually, Zane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the. I will talk about one other thing after we talk about the Spider-Man trailer, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah. Let's jump into it. Spider-Man trailer happened.
Yes, it did. It did happen. Well done, Zane.
Thank you
for getting Marvel to release it. That's where he was for 2 weeks at the head office secretly.
Yeah, Ben came to back me up.
He's like, listen. He's like, you're there talking to Feige, going, listen, Big K. Look, I got it wrong about Falcon, and you've got to give me this one thing back. You've got to do it. I need this. I need this, Big K. Come on.
And I'm taking a baseball cap.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, my hands are tight.
And listen, depending on what your answer is, I'm going to either wear it on my head or wear it on my bum. So the choice is yours, Feige. I could make you look very stupid here.
Yeah.
And hey, he made the right choice.
In accordance
Although
with
you're not wearing it on your head. Thoughts on the trailer?
I thought it was cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Cool.
It kind
Good.
of
move on. Yeah, let's go.
It is what it is. Ox.cock is in it.
Ox.cox.
Yeah, from our comic book.
yeah, the arch nemesis of Green Jay. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I thought. I mean, it looked fantastic. As to be expected. Some really interesting stuff littered throughout it. So kind of going into it a little bit. So for a start, obviously the ending of it kicks off straight after Far From Home. Mm-hmm. It looks like he is obviously worldwide known, and he is on the run. It looks like for a little bit. It does seem like he's got this like kind of like vigilante situation whereby everyone wants him, and he has to hide out where he can with MJ and stuff, who obviously knows who he is. There is the bit that kind of confused me the most was how much of a Big D Doctor Strange seems to be. Like, he seems to be a real jerk in this. Like, he doesn't seem like Doctor Strange at all, which makes me wonder if there's something else going on with him.
I've seen this theory. If it's where I think you're going.
Well, I mean, there's a Mephisto chain theory going, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Because this feels like another sort of variation of One More Day.
Yes,
which is sort of thing where he makes the deal and such.
Well, I was going to say explain what that is, because some people might not know what that is in the comics, unless you want me to explain it.
Well, I guess One More Day, he makes the deal with Mephisto to undo the reveal of his identity and to save Aunt May from being shot, because someone tried to snipe him and Aunt May got shot instead.
No, so I think the Kingpin puts out a hit on him, but the hit goes wrong and Aunt May gets killed. And then it's in One More Day, it's not his identity. I don't think it's his marriage. So in order for
it's the trade, isn't it?
Yeah, Mephisto's deal is in order for you to have Aunt May back, you can no longer be married to Mary Jane, and that's the deal that they do. It's not regarded widely as a great comic, and it's fine. And there's a load of ramifications that come from it. So this is where if Drac was here, he'd be able to like burst into like about 50 million different, points of what it came from and what was happening with it. But no, I mean, it does seem like you're like you said. I've said this on the podcast previously as well. Marvel do like to take things, MCU, like to take things and adapt it from the comics. So it's not necessarily like, look at Sylvie as like a weird amalgamation of Enchantress and Lady Loki. So yeah, it does seem like they're doing a strange variation on that. Forgive the pun. I don't know. You just can't. We don't know enough about. Like, I mean, there's loads of like weird theories about Mephisto, because obviously when he goes to Sanctum Sanctorum, it's all covered in snow. Like the ninth level of hell is like an ice like plane, and then there's loads of like little bits to it that like point towards possibly Mephisto. But then, we've been on this path before.
We've been down that road before. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I will say this: if Mephisto's going to turn up anywhere, it's going to be in a Doctor Strange situation. Absolutely. Hands down, it's definitely going to be in that context. So maybe.
The other thing I've seen about this is that everyone's saying like Doctor Strange is just a jerk in general. Like, he doesn't change throughout all of the first Doctor Strange movie, and the same with Endgame. He still, he bends the rules for him to win, no matter what the cost.
Yes, he's very aloof, isn't he, as far as that's concerned? So, no, you might be.
That's why Mordor walks away at the end of the first one, is because Strange doesn't play by the rules; he plays by his rules.
Interestingly, as well, that in that trailer as well, nobody seems to be talking about it, but Wong goes on vacation. But I will say this: we've seen in the Shang-Chi trailer, Wong is apparently fighting Abomination. Yeah. So I wonder if these are taking place concurrently, and that's where Wong is going to Shangri-La, and that's where he ends up and somehow gets in a cage fight because it's Wong. Asking for like a tuna melt or something in the wrong place. But like, I wonder if they're taking place at, it does bode an interesting question as to whether or not how close in the timeline these things actually are, because it does look like Fing Fang Foom is in Shang-Chi as well. And I wonder if that's going to be linked to, because it's all magical rings and everything like that. And in fact, the whole scenario of the multiversal like binding that Doctor Strange is doing is rings. And I wonder if it's going to have some crazy, mad connection to that. And also if the convergence, not convergence, that's in Marvel Future Revolution, which I was playing this week and it's excellent. What is it? The event, in Loki,
Multiverse of Madness.
They're not calling it a Multiverse of Madness, though, are they? They're calling it like a. I can't remember what they called it. He said it's gone past the threshold. I know that in Loki, but anyway, regardless.
Branches.
Yeah, I mean, when everything explodes, that could all be happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We just don't know. But yeah, and then I'm trying to think of what happens immediately after that. We get a whole bunch of like loopy whoopy diving into New York craziness that we've seen in Doctor Strange before. Get an interesting shot of Spider-Man. I think it has been confirmed now that his black suit is a rune suit, isn't it? It's like a
magical suit or sort.
Yes, it's a magical suit, but he is running through in a black suit in one of the cantina, and so I'm still sticking to my theory. It could be a symbiote. The symbiote supreme, it could be. And then I mean, I guess the biggest reveal is the end of the trade, isn't it? Where we finally get to see what everyone has known for a very long time. Much like CM Punk returning for wrestling fans, it's the most unwell kept secret in history. And it is confirmed that, who did we have in the trailer? We've got Doc Ock, obviously. Alfred Molina is back as Dr. Octopus, which was very nice to see. And it was it did put a rather large smile on my face seeing Alfred Molina back. And then we've got, who else do we have in the? I can't remember if we've got.
There's the Goblin Bomb from
I know that, yeah.
Jones. we also got to see Yellow Lightning, which a lot of people are speculating is Jamie Foxx's Electro.
Yes, it's Electro. That's that Goblin Bomb.
Yeah,
we still don't have any confirmation that it's actually Willem Dafoe. Because Dane DeHaan has also been rumored to be coming in for this as well. And Dane DeHaan played the very unsuccessful Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Do you think he's coming back though?
Why not? He's a younger actor. Willem Dafoe is synonymous with it, but he's a younger actor. And the lizard is in it as well. This trailer. Did you see that?
Yeah. So it's hard to tell, but I think it's either the lizard or the Scorpion from the Homecoming short clips.
They've done a freeze frame of it, and it looks like it's the lizard. But what's weird is he looks like he's trapped inside some kind of magical prison, and then everyone's theorizing there's a scene later on where in the middle of the trailer, where Doctor Strange does the old classic astral projection shtick, and smacks Peter Parker out of his Spider-Man body. And when he does so, Speeder Sparker is he's holding like a weird box, and a lot of people are speculating that maybe the whole plot of this is that in damaging the multiverse the way they did, they released all the villains from the previous Spider-Man, and they have to now go and capture them all again and return them to their point of origins, which is why everything's going a bit crazy. Interesting fact though, or an interesting thing that somebody pointed out as well, when Doc Ock appears and goes, "Hello, Peter," textbook impression. He is wearing the same outfit that Tobey Maguire wears in, I think it's Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Right before he gets married to he's going to propose to Mary Jane.
Yeah.
It is the exact same outfit. So a lot of people are speculating, what if they're doing the biggest swerve in history and Maguire and Garfield aren't going to be in it? He's going to be like assuming their identities in that universe.
I see what you mean.
And that's why he's dressed as them. I was like, oh man, they get so much backlash.
I've seen other people speculate that scene is a cut. Like there's probably a scene where he is looking at Toby, and then they've switched to Tom's reaction. But
probably. But
the other two sort of things I've seen people kind of speculate is Sandman, because during the lightning strike there's a lot of sand. So again, people are asking, will we get to see Sandman from Spider-Man 3?
Thomas Hayden Church has been rumored for a long time. So I think we probably will.
And of course, we get to see Tom Holland in an interrogation room with potentially a lawyer, which a lot of people are like, is that Charlie Cox?
It's so funny.
Because he likes to slam documents on tables as well.
Apparently so. Well, it was really funny because I think New Rockstars was doing a piece on the breakdown of the trailer, and they said they did an analysis on his arm and said, look, it's the same hairy arm as Charlie Cox. Like, poor Charlie Cox. Calling him out for having really hairy monkey arms. That's really harsh. That's not very nice.
It's not nice.
So anyway, interesting. Look, I'm excited for this. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I love Spider-Man. I've always loved Spider-Man anyway. But it's too early to speculate. I will. It's interesting. I don't know. You did listen to last week's. I'm now hyped for the Eternals as well.
Yes, I did. I did see that.
After that last trailer, which was amazing. So we'll just have to see how all of this is going to slot together, because you know what Marvel are like. They give us fanboys something to speculate on, and then it turns out to be completely different. So, if it turns out that it's a different Green Goblin, if it's Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin, I will laugh so hard. I
mean, it'd be worse if it was James Franco's, but...
Yeah, okay. He's not Green Goblin. He was New Goblin. He's rad. He's cool. New Goblin. He's like Coke. So... He's like what's that? Clear Coke or Clear Pepsi, whichever they did. He is the. What was that called? Was it Clear Pepsi?
I have no idea, but it reminds me actually. There was one other fan theory I saw, which is that Ned becomes Hobgoblin.
Crystal Pepsi, that's it. That's what James Franco is. James Franco is the Crystal Pepsi of the Spider-Verse. It's supposed to be new and cool, and he's just absolutely rubbish. Ned as Hobgoblin, that would be ridiculous. No, I don't like that. I do not like that at all. No. So it's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
It just doesn't fit at all. Why would he be Hobgoblin?
It happened in the comics.
Ned?
Yeah.
As in the Lego building?
Yeah.
Nerd? Ned?
Ned.
Move on. I don't even know where to go with that. It'd be more believable if it was MJ.
Wow. That would be a swerve. Or Flash, I guess.
What would be a swerve is having no Tobey Maguire and no Andrew Garfield, and it would be the fanverse would go mental. Oh God. Right. The one thing I wanted to talk about. Well, there's a couple of things I want to talk about before we get on to What If, but the one thing that we are both kind of actually looking forward to and quite excited about, they've revealed the Matrix title. Yes. Matrix 4 officially has a title now. The Matrix Resurrections. Thoughts?
I feel like there's a theme with all of their titles after the first Matrix film.
Well, they all begin with R.
Reloaded, Revolution, and now Resurrection.
Yeah.
I did hear Lawrence Fishburne wasn't back for this one.
No, he's not. There's another actor who's been cast as a young Morpheus, and I can't remember what his name is. It's weird, man. This one's going to be weird. It could either. So this will either go one of two ways, right? This will either be the best thing since the first Matrix, or it will be the worst thing since Matrix Revolutions.
I heard there was a trailer played at the festival.
Yes, there is. I'm not sure. I haven't read the full ins and outs of the trailer. I'm quite interested in it, but it seems like Neo doesn't know who he is. Like he's back reinserted into the Matrix as Thomas Anderson, and he has no idea of who he is. And it seems like there's a digital version of Trinity who's with him. And then it's I guess because Niobe's in it as well, isn't she? Jada Pinkett Smith's in it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's about them touching base with Neo again. Really, it's weird. I'm very interested. Like I'm super interested. I think didn't the trailer have something about Neil Patrick Harris was like a therapist in it or something like that, and he's talking to Thomas Anderson. I'm fascinated by it. I can't wait, but I'm also terrified by the same token because the first Matrix is in my top 5 films of all time. It's one of my favorite films ever. I adore it. Reloaded has some very good parts to it, and it's not a bad film. Revolutions has some minutely good parts in it, and then the rest of it is unfortunately does fall apart a little bit in its I think overly heavy Christian metaphors that it gets into. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but it just for me it just didn't work. So yeah, I'm if this brings about, if this is the next string to the Renaissance that we're experiencing, I am all for it. All for it. I'll tell you what will be super interesting as well is that it's only Lana Wachowski doing this. It's not Lily Wachowski. And obviously it was both of them before. So it will be very interesting to see because they're all the films that the Wachowskis have done for the last like 15 years or so have been quite muddled. Like they've not really felt, you look at things like Cloud Atlas, Speed Racer. What was the one? Was it Valerian? Did they do Valerian or what did they do? What was the weird one that they did, which had Mila Kunis in it?
Jupiter Rising.
Yes, that. Yeah. It was all of them were kind of like very epic, but also very meh. And I'm wondering if that's because the two of them didn't mesh as well after the Matrix, So I'll be very interested to see what the singular vision of Lana brings to this. Like, I'd be very, very interested to see that. I'm excited for it, man. I am excited for Matrix 4. The Matrix Resurrections.
As someone who's recently watched the trilogy, I wonder how much wire work kung fu, considering Keanu's a little bit older as well. Like, I wonder how much of that there will be in this.
So I don't think there's going to be. I truthfully don't think. I don't think Neo is going to be in this very much. I don't. I really don't. I think Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, I think they're going to be very minimal parts in it. I think this is going to be about the next wave of people from the Matrix. Because the lady who plays Colleen Wing in Iron Fist she's one of the main leads in the film. And I think she's I can't remember her name, but I think she's absolutely amazing. Like, I think she's a great actress. So I'm super excited to see her in this. Let me get the cast list up, actually, because the cast listing was really, really good. Just very quickly, talk amongst yourselves.
I think as well the guy who played as Black Manta in Aquaman is also cast in this as well.
Hold that thought. Yeah, Yahya, what's his name? His name Yahya
the Fourth.
Yeah, Yahya Abdul Mateen II. Yes, he's amazing. He is also Candyman, which links very well into what you and I were talking about before the podcast went live. Which is that the Candyman reviews are apparently incredible. So go and see Candyman, everyone. Just to run through the list: Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, we knew about. Yahya Abdul Mateen. Jessica Henwick is the name of the lady who was Colleen Wing. Christina Ricci is in it.
What's she been in recently?
What's she been in recently? Oh man, now you're asking the questions. Do you know who she is?
I'm trying to put a name to the face. Face to the name.
She's the girl from Casper.
Casper. Really? Yes. Yeah. Got
her. Wednesday Addams from Addams Family.
I'm with you.
She was in Speed Racer as well. She's been in loads of stuff, man. She's amazing, and I love her. Neil Patrick Harris is obviously in this. Jada Pinkett Smith. Like loads and loads and loads and loads of like really good people. Jonathan Groff is the one to watch out for, because he's an kind of an unknown actor. He was in he's not an unknown actor, sorry. He's a well-known actor, but you might not recognize the name, but you'll recognize him. Have you seen the film the TV series Mindhunter?
No, I haven't.
Well, then you're missing out. He's Holden in Mindhunter. So he's the lead in Mindhunter, and he is incredible in that. Like, really good. Really, really good. He's been cast, and they haven't released what his character name is yet. But I will say this: he has a great look for an FBI agent. So they've released they've released some of the agent names. Like, we know that there's going to be Agent Johnson, which is an unfortunate thing. But there you go. But yeah, we don't know who Jonathan Groff is. So I'm calling possibly a reimagining of Smith, maybe.
Ooh.
I think he could be a new form of Smith, because the whole idea of the Matrix is it goes in cycles. So they were on the 6th cycle. So Resurrections could well be this is the 7th. And possibly Neo turns into more of a Morpheus type role when he comes back. That's the idea. Because the Merovingian's going to be in this as well. They're bringing back Lambert Wilson for it. So yeah, I'm.
And Persephone?
No Persephone. Sorry.
No weird kiss scene.
Yeah, sorry to break it to you. No PVC dresses. I mean, we never know. That's not confirmed, actually. I don't know that for sure. You never know. Neil Patrick Harris in a PVC dress. I can see that.
Shall we move on to the main event?
No, we shouldn't, because I have something that I wanted to talk to you about. That we've had some movement on. So I did a shout out on. So as everyone knows who listens to the podcast, Zane is half a man. The reason why he's half a man is because he used to be known as Senpai Zane,
Yes.
And then he lost the bet, and he lost the senpai part of his name. So I did a shout out and asked people to contact us at the Undisputed Nerds podcast with some suggestions. And I have named this segment "Get a Name for Zane," which one of our listeners has also suggested just making it a bit more snappier. Name that Zane, which I'm happy to go with.
Nice.
So we've had a litany of names, which I can go through with you now, and see if you like any of them.
Okay.
So brace yourself, strap yourself in, because some of these are incredible.
I'm leaning back in my chair.
Right. Okay. So from the, I'm not gonna read out all of them because I'm not gonna read out everyone's name, but thank you to everyone who did send them in. I'll read out a couple. So we've got from the list the Steve, we've got Baron Zane, Motley Zane, or Zane Motley, whichever way you like it. Champagne Zane, which I thought you might like, and the Honourable Zane.
Nice.
The Honourable, forget that one. That one's gone, dead already. I very much like Champagne Zane. All right, we'll go through some of the other ones. So we've got one second. Some of these are ridiculous. So we've got not Zane Low, Zane Attack, the real Zane Low, Zane Master Flex, the nice. Zane Zone, Never Forget Your First Zane, You Son of a Zane, I'm Zane Man, Zane Fleck, which I like.
Nice.
And then we had a couple from Rinsler as well. Yeah, the host of last week's show. I mean, he oh dear. Annie Zaniac.
Okay.
And then the last one from Rinsler, always Zig, never Zane.
Always Zig.
Never Zane. So there you go. Thank you to everyone who messaged in with suggestions for Zane's name. If he doesn't like any of those, we'll come back to it next week, and I'll reopen the polling. I really do like Champagne Zane. I think that's a fantastic one for you, to be honest with you. But
that one is sparkling, shall we
especially
say.
considering your hoity-toity trip to Edinburgh. I think that that fits in perfectly. But there you go. So name that Zane segment, guys. It's we're gonna see what he thinks of them. I will send them all to him, and he can make a decision. And if he's not happy with any of them, then we'll keep going. We'll keep going with the name that Zane.
Thank you very much for the suggestions. Keep them coming in for now. Let's have more options.
God, he's just so picky, this man. Honestly,
I'm very picky.
There you go, picky Zane.
Picky Zane.
All right, let's go on to the main event then.
Okay, so episode 3 of Marvel's What If.
Have you seen the first two?
I have seen the first two.
Oh, good. Well, you were away.
Do you want to run down my thoughts on the first two?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Episode 3, a delicious murder mystery. Who knew that was on the horizon?
Delicious.
Oh,
a tasty morsel of a murder mystery.
Felt like Mycroft Holmes for a second. I was like, murder mystery.
What's the guy's name from Knives Out? Daniel Craig in Knives Out. I can't remember his name is now.
Isn't
Foghorn Leghorn as a detective, basically. I say it's a hell of a... My lord, it's a murder.
Good lord.
That Hulk just went to pop, I tell you.
They found the man dead in a donut shop.
What was it? Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction?
No, that was my detective.
Oh, that was it. That was your... Oh, right, got you. Cool.
Dead on the floor.
There you go. That was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah, there we go.
That was good. Instead of the strike down upon thee with great fin.
I have to admit, like with Sam Jackson, like almost doing line for line Iron Man 2, where he's like, "That's sodium dioxide that's in you." Like his delivery is just almost pitch perfect with that one from like 10 years ago. Like If someone said that was
problem?
a sound,
you're my problem, and now I've got to deal with it.
Yeah. Do you mind taking out the donut?
I just like that every. I'm not gonna say it because it's a swear word, but I like that every single sentence with Sam Jackson I immediately think should be punctuated with "mother effer."
He did a
Sir, can you please step away from the donut, effer? You know what I mean? Everything.
There's a bedtime book. I think it's
Go to Sleep. Please go to sleep, effer.
Yeah.
It's so
fantastic.
Good. Yes.
Anyways,
what happened in the episode, Zane?
Wow. So, in this particular episode, we follow Nick Fury because this is famously during what is known as Fury's Big Week.
Yep. Yes, it is.
There's an actual comic book called that as well, where the events of Iron Man 2, Thor 1, I didn't know this at the time, but it makes a lot of sense. The Incredible Hulk and Avengers? No, it couldn't be Avengers.
What?
The end of Captain America all take place in the same week.
Oh, within the week, yes.
Yeah.
It can't be. It's not Captain America. It's not. Is it the Avengers? Is it?
I don't know if Avengers takes place in the same.
No, it's
week.
Thor. It's Iron Man 2, Thor, and
Incredible Hulk.
Yes, that's it. It's those three.
And not the end sequence of Captain America 1, where he wakes up.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I think. Sorry, I thought you meant like that. That whole bit takes place in the beginning of the Avengers. But no, yes,
no.
Yes, right. The reason why I was really distracted was when you said Fury's Big Week. It made me think of Fury's Big Week, the successful follow-up to Weekend at Bernie's, which is, for those of you out there, it's about a couple of guys who have a crazy party weekend with a dead man. It's fantastic. It's a great film. You should definitely check it out.
But in that week, he helps Tony in Iron Man 2, as we've said. And I guess the murder mystery of this is that those that he selected for the initiative, the Avengers initiative, get got.
Yes, they get murdered, aka get got.
Yeah,
that is correct. Yeah, it's a weird old thing, this one. So I guess I wonder. I do wonder if they. Effectively, guys, the thing starts off right at the beginning of Iron Man 2. The interesting thing about this one, which I thought was weird, they didn't have that pivotal choice moment that they normally have in What Ifs. Like, there's normally like a moment where they're like, there, that's what changed everything. But in this one, you don't see that. It all links back at the end to what that moment was. But we start off with midway through Iron Man 2, where Stark's having a crisis again, and Fury goes to kind of like do it and help him out. And then, he gets murdered from an injection from Black Widow, who then gets arrested, but then is Fury's agent on the inside or outside. Sorry, I should say. And then, we kind of systematically get the sequence of then Thor goes to get his hammer back from the film Thor, and Hawkeye is covering him, and then Hawkeye seemingly slips and shoots Thor in the heart. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know why I got so much glee out of that, watching a beautiful Chris Hemsworth die. And then Hawkeye turns up dead as well in his own prison cell. Yeah. And then Black Widow is then killed off shortly after the Hulk explodes. I know. So there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. And like, it is the systematic destruction of the Avengers. They did give Black Widow a meaty role in this, and it does make me wonder if Scarlett Johansson read the lines already before she then decided to go, oh, by the way, give me my money. And then Lake Bell took over and was Black Widow instead. Lake Bell, who was gorgeous. Sorry, got to think for Lake Bell tonight. Apparently,
yeah. I have to admit as well, Lake Bell's impression of Scarlett Johansson is incredible. Like,
yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Everyone else is the same. It's all the same actors, apart from Ruffalo being Hulk instead of Ed Norton. But yeah, it was a trippy episode, man, because it did have a lot of swerves and a lot of things that I wasn't really It didn't grip me. No? This one, I have to say, I wasn't as griphead as I was for the first two. Last week's one was incredible, and like the Guardians one was amazing. This one it felt a little bit kind of like a bit meh. And I think it's because we didn't. I understand why they did it, because it was a whodunit. So spoilers, guys, and I should point this out: if you haven't been and watched What If episode 3, go and watch What If episode 3. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hello.
So the spoiler in this is that the person who has been systematically killing the Avengers turns out to be Hank Pym. But it's not just any Hank Pym, it's a Yellow Jacket Hank Pym. So I guess it all links back to Hope Van Dyne was an agent for Fury and got killed on one of the missions. I did see there was go on.
Yeah. So the theory behind this is that it was the mission where in Winter Soldier, Romanoff mentions that she got sniped by Bucky, but the bullet went through, like in the stomach, like through and through, where the speculation is that Hope went on that mission and didn't survive the
It's because she died in Odessa, and that's where the Black Widow was talking about. Her mission was in Odessa when she ran into the Winter Soldier. So yeah, the theory is that she was sent on that instead, and that's what got her killed. So Hank Pym has been going around being tiny and doing really horrible things, really horrible things. So yeah, he caused an aneurysm in Tony Stark. He caused Hawkeye to let go of the bow early, which meant that he shot Thor right through the heart. Shot through the heart, and Thor's to blame. And then killed Hawkeye by going in and blending his brain, seemingly. And then Hulk was the most horrific of all.
In a very PG way, though.
Yeah, but it's still horrible. He uses one of the enlargement discs and enlarges Hulk's heart, which causes Hulk to literally explode from the inside out. Nasty. And then we don't really know how Black Widow dies, but we just assume he beat her to death, basically. And so, I mean, in this point in time as well, kind of Loki comes to Earth looking for Thor, who is now dead because of Hank Pym. And then,
wasn't it more revenge for Thor though? Like,
no, because they don't know he's dead until they come to Earth and find out. Did they?
I had a feeling they already knew, and they came for revenge.
I know that. Yeah, he comes with an army. that's all you really need to know. There's a couple of things to speculate off of that. Is that because Sif is with him, and I think the Warrior 3 with him as well.
Yes.
So then, presumably that's at Odin's call. You know that they've gone there to get revenge. My question is, why was it Loki leading it and not Odin?
Because the Odin sleep would have happened by then, wouldn't it? Because that's the whole plan of the first movie.
No, I thought he was in the Odin sleep in the second one. Yeah, he is in the Odin sleep. No, he's in the Odin sleep because the first one he gets banished to Earth.
Yeah.
Because so there's who the hell is looking after? No, all of like the first thought, the Odin sleep happens in the second one because he's asleep when the Dark Elves invade.
No, he's asleep in the first one because the Loki uses secret paths to let the Ice Giants in,
Frost Giants.
to get Odin whilst he sleeps. Because there's that whole scene where he's screaming at Odin and he's like falling on the stairs because he's like, "Oh, sleep!"
It's like, "Oh, I'm knackered."
Yeah, this is too much, Loki. And he's there screaming, "Who am I?"
All right, I'm gonna watch that back, and if I'm wrong, then I'm never telling you. And if I'm right, I'm going to tell it to everyone on air.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's how I work. That's the fairness,
Perfect.
Stern,
we'll put it on TikTok.
Stern but fair. Yeah, no way. Well, it's not like you've ever done that before, is it, Zane? TikTok Zane. That's what we want to call you.
Oh yeah, lush. The other thing to mention, I know we've kind of touched on the cast in this, but I was when Hank Pym popped up, I was like, this voice acting is so good. Like this. It sounds so much like him. And then I was like, wait a minute,
like Michael Douglas. Wait, it is Michael Douglas.
Who knew Michael Douglas would do voice acting in the year 2021? Like,
I genuinely thought you were going to say, who knew that Michael Douglas would do a great impression of Michael Douglas? Yes, who knew that, Zane? Who would have thought?
Who knew?
I guess, I mean, it's the Marvel train, isn't it? You sign up for these things and then you get put on the train. I wouldn't imagine it's that taxing to go and do some voiceover work, is it though?
No. But has he done any before? Like, I don't think he's done a Pixar or anything, though.
Not that I can remember, but I'm not going to put it past him from doing it. He might well have done. But no, I mean, I thought he was great in it. It was a cool little nod to see a properly mad Hank Pym.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see. I wonder. It does make me wonder if Michael Douglas is doing these kind of things. I do wonder if maybe. So, are you aware of the Ultron thing? Me and Drag were talking about it because he told me about it. So the ultimate kind of like end game for this What If series is going to be Ultron.
I had heard a rumor about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on the poster actually. If you look at the poster, there's the
red cape.
Yeah, the red cape Vision, basically Vision Ultron, and then he's got the Infinity Stones embedded in his chest. So it will be very interesting if, as they're using him, maybe it's Hank Pym that creates that Ultron instead of Tony Stark.
Maybe.
It's that. Maybe that's the difference where it's like, what if it's him instead of Stark? And that's what the difference is between it. And that's why they don't stop him before he gets to, what's MacGuffin.
I have heard another theory that all the heroes that we've seen in the series will come together at the end and be the new Avengers. So the Star-Lord, T'Challa, the Captain Peggy will all come together at the end. Sort of scenario.
Yes, that is pretty much it. It's going to be like a multiversal Avengers, is essentially what it is. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, the end of this is that. So what happens at the end of this? Loki takes over the world.
Yeah,
that's basically it. I feel really annoyed by this. I have to be honest with you because I'm like, you know me, I love me some Hiddleston.
Yeah,
and I wanted the full. I wanted the full episode where it's like, what happens when Thingamabob, Loki, after the events of Doodah, whatchamacalls. I'm just confirming it, by the way. You are right. I will say it on screen. You are right. He is in the Odin sleep. He's not in the proper Odin sleep, though. I will say that. He's kind of like it's more like an Odin nap.
Yeah, I mean, he would be because Loki was shouting at him and he couldn't take all of that.
But I will give you the concession. He is in the form of an Odin sleep in the film. So yes, you are right, Zane. Okay, you are right. I will give you that. Go ahead, put it on TikTok, you big. So Loki takes it. I wanted maximum Hiddleston. So I wanted 2012 Thor. 2012 Loki from the Avengers when they invade New York. I wanted that Loki to rule the world because I thought that would have been really interesting to see the dynamic between him and Thanos after it. So this one was kind of like all right, let's just throw that in there for the poops and squeaks.
Yeah,
I was going to do a PG version of what I wanted to say. But
I could have said tea and biscuits.
I could have said tea and biscuits. I regret everything. And then Captain Marvel turns up.
Yeah. Look at that. He used the pager.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? And then Captain
Ends
America's
on 2 captains.
turning up as well. Yeah. Great. It's a rubbish ending. It was a rubbish ending to this one. And it's the same with. I will say this: it was the same with the last episode as well, with where it's like the endings are poop on this because they leave so many unanswered questions. I know it's supposed to be like it's spawning a whole new universe and everything like that, but don't leave us on cliffhangers. Ugh.
I think this one was head and shoulders better than the first two. I think there's a lot more. The other two felt like a retelling in some ways. Yeah.
You're saying this one was better than last week's one?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Zane, are you high?
No.
How was last week's one a retelling of Guardians of the Galaxy? It was completely different.
It wasn't completely different. The opening was still the same.
The opening to this was still the same. You literally had an entire sentence with me at the beginning of this where you were saying it's amazing how Sam Jackson says exactly the same things that he says in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
It's the same. Last week's one was amazing. You had the Collector going crazy with all of his stuff.
Yeah,
you had Thanos being a weed. It was amazing.
No, that was just
Necro swords. They had confirmed Necro swords. That means we've got symbiote swords in the MCU. Dude.
I know.
Gore the God Butcher is coming.
Yeah. It was just a bit, I don't know. It felt...
We're going to be divided on this one.
It felt a bit Mary Sue, the last one for me.
Mary Sue?
Yeah.
Honestly, he goes away for 2 weeks and suddenly he comes back with delusions of grandeur. It's unbelievable. Guys, honestly, I don't know what to say.
Most what if stories, and the same with, I guess, DC's dark multiverse, I should say. I always get the impression that they're supposed to end on bad things, like, well, we survived, but at what cost? And I kind of get the same vibe with this.
Well, you've brought up two very different, because the dark universe is different to the multiverse in DC. The dark multiverse is
the Dark Tales, I should say.
No, it's not. Basically the idea was so that DC wrote themselves into a corner when they used to have infinite numbers of multiverses, and then they had I can't remember whether it was Infinite Crisis. I think it was Infinite Crisis. And basically, after Infinite Crisis, they said, right, there's no more infinite universes. There's only 52, which was what then became the new 52, with Prime Earth being like the one where they were like an upside down triangle, basically, and all these universes rested on one Earth. So if that one Earth fell, everything would fall, and that's why it became big stakes. And then in Dark Knight's Metal, it was revealed that there was as a way to write themselves out of that difficult situation of there only being 52 universes, they said that there's a dark multiverse, which is, if you look at it on like a plane, you've got this upside down triangle, and then you've got a level, and then you've got infinite worlds underneath those planes to say those universes only last maybe like 30 hours or something like that. But the idea is that they're manifestations of the greatest fears of everyone in the main multiverses. Yeah. So that's why there's loads of different Batmen who are like horrible nightmare versions of the Batman, because it's all his worst fears manifesting in this dark multiverse.
So there's the Tales of the Dark Multiverse, which not just the Batman, but there's like the Dark Superwoman. There was the Azrael comic, which was really cool and such. But on the Marvel side, of course, there's the What If with Ultron, if he was successful. And more recently, Chip Zdarsky, I think it was called Shadow Spider-Man, which is supposed to be like a what if, but it's if the symbiote never left Peter. And again, it's kind of like this whole it's a dark tale, so it ends in a dark way. And I just kind of like felt like this one kind of ends in a dark way, which is nice, instead of kind of
last one ended I will say last one ended in a very dark way as well, because ego is going to take over everything.
Yeah, visit Peter.
But then the first one didn't. Peggy didn't end on a dark way at all. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm personally looking forward to the. So for those of you who keep up with my Instagram at Gentlemanly Gamer, I'm looking forward to the classic What If tale that hopefully they'll tell before the end of this 9-issue run, which is what happens. What if Daredevil's tailor was slightly angry at him? Looking forward to that what if story coming soon.
Wow,
that is the story. There is a picture of it on my Instagram. It's an official story from the 60s, from the What If from the 60s. What if Daredevil's tailor was slightly annoyed at him?
Don't write him like they used to, do they?
Well, I mean, like I said this to Drac as well, because there's another one which is. Let me get them up now, because
there was the Hulk one, wasn't there?
Yes, that was the one I was going to talk to you about. Yeah, it's the Hulk one, which is what if the Hulk went berserk? Yeah, what if, what if?
What
you guys
only can imagine.
Sorry, I apologize. It's not if it was angry. It's what if Daredevil had a dishonest tailor? That's it. There, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if he had a dishonest tailor? But it is interesting. Like I did point out, there's another one which is what if Hulk had the brain of Bruce Banner, and they've done that in the MCU already. So
they have.
Yeah, they obviously are open to certain ideas, which makes me think that dishonest tailor one is coming right up. I can't wait. Then again, actually, didn't he have a dishonest tailor in the Netflix series?
You could say.
He did. He did have a dishonest tailor. Wow, Marvel, you're ahead of the game, and you've had one where the Hulk went berserk as well.
Subtle in their delivery.
Yeah, I don't know about this week's one. It was all right. It kind of I felt it ran out of steam very quickly for me. Personally, I did not enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed last week's one. We're okay to be different sometimes, Zane.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let's not have it too often. Yeah, I think I'm gonna dispute it this week. It's a disputed episode for me.
Fair enough.
I'm assuming it's undisputed for you.
It is very much undisputed for me.
I just couldn't. After Black Widow died, the whole episode for me was just kind of like meh, And then the fact that I did enjoy Loki's god slapping down Yellow Jacket when he was trying to attack him. That was good. That was good at the end of the episode.
I did like Hank Pym's crazy eyebrows as well. They look like spaghetti for some weird reason.
They look fantastic.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas. That's just Michael Douglas. It's not crazy. That's his natural hair. He's got little spaghetti, and he's got hoops for ears. Little spaghetti hoops for ears. Long spaghetti hair.
There we go.
It's lovely.
Cool. But what did you think? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, love to hear from you. Did you think this was disputed or undisputed? What did you think of the previous episodes? Do you think they were amazing too? We want to know your thoughts. So, as always,
confirm to me that I was secretly right, and it's an Odin nap, not an Odin sleep. I know there's a difference.
Technicalities.
And send in more names for Zane as well, please, guys. We want more names for Zane. Name that Zane.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, like, share, subscribe. Links will be in the description down below if you want to check out this crazy cat, which is pointing that way, on his Twitch. You got any games lined up for this week's play?
It's weird not having a setup for that since you've been away.
I know.
Guys, you can find me on Instagram at Gentlemanly Gamer. You can also find me on twitch.tv/Gentlemanly Gamer. I am going to be doing my Friday Night Fright horror game this evening, which will probably be Resident Evil 2, which I'm still trying to speed run. Well, the remake of Resident Evil 2, which I'm still trying to speed run through. And then we're doing all kinds of crazy things on stream at the moment, Zane. We're doing Deus Ex. We're doing Deus Ex. I've been told to really emphasize that because it can be missaid quite easily. We're doing marbles on stream now as well. We're doing all kinds of craziness. So come by, be snarky with me whilst I attempt to do things that are crazy.
There we go. For those who are interested in anime and manga, we've got an episode lined up on the Otaku podcast. Again, links will be in the description down below. I think that is everything.
UndisputedNerds@gmail.com.
Yes. Yeah, drop us an email. Why not? Yeah.
Good. There we go.
I'll drop us an email. Why not? Yeah.
Good. And then obviously you will be able to, for those of you who are listening, we also have the live stream version of this, which is on YouTube. If you want to give us a watch and see our glorious faces, I'm slowly but surely getting a beard to rival Zane's. And yeah. Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks very much. It's been hard the last 2 weeks without you.
I could tell.
Honestly, it's only when you go away. That's disgusting. It's only when you go away that I realise like how much work you actually do for the podcast. He does a lot of work, guys. He's a good man. He's a very good man, and we'd be lost without him.
Appreciation post. Love it.
You're welcome. I didn't say it at the top of the episode. People actually have to listen through to hear it, but yeah, carry on.
Save it for TikTok. There we go.
All right, we're done. We're going out. All right, guys. Thanks very much. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Take care. Bye.